I change your bum life. You fight me, it's a celebration. When you sign to fight me, it's a celebration. You ring back home, you ring your wife. Baby, we done it. We're rich, baby. Conor McGregor made us rich. Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to the fifth round. As always, your boy, Stephen Moustaris. Man, fresh off a plane back to Ohio from Colorado. What a fucking time. Beautiful shit. Kind of got away a little bit. Just unwinding life. Been working a lot. So, definitely got to watch some of the fight night over the weekend for the UFC. And, I just got done talking in the last couple videos. This weekend, finally, it's time for UFC 275. Stacked ass card. I broke down the Zhang Weili, Ioane and Jacek, duo rematch, and then also just broke down Valentina Shevchenko's return against Taylor Santos, and then this leaves me nothing but the main event. Light heavyweight champion Glover fucking Teixeira, 50 years old seems like, as he takes on Jiri Prochazka, up and comer, 25, 26 years old. Just absolutely on a tear, and I've been really, 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 really torn on this fight. It's one of those ones, man, that I could see it going anywhere. I know Glover's last 4, 5, 6 fights, other than his dominant performance to get the belt against Jan Blachowicz, but other than that fight, every single fight that we've watched him in the last couple years, he seems to get rocked really bad in the first round. Really bad, gets knocked down, nearly finished, and then, he just turns it back around, gets top control, gets the back, finishes him. It's some of the craziest shit you've ever seen, and it's one of those things is like, I'm thinking, I don't know if he'll be able to come back from getting rocked by Jiri Prochazka, but then it's also that type thing where it's like, Yuri's so young, and I know he's been really dominant. His knockouts have been phenomenal. His Dominic Reyes knockout, that spinning elbow, is going to go down in history for one of the coolest knockouts ever, and one of the scariest ones if you look at the way Dominic lands. But like, it's also one of those ones you can easily see, like, him being so young and so fresh that it's one of those setbacks. It's like, oh man, we really thought it was his time, but just so happened that he couldn't handle it. Momo's too big. Glover's experience comes out, gets early takedown maybe. And then from there on, he just makes one wrong move to get up, and it's like, okay, we got your neck, and night could be over. So it's one of the first times I've actually watched a fight in a while that I can see a clear path for both people, both fighters. And usually it's not necessarily such a clear path. Usually, like, you got if it's a Conor McGregor fight, like against Khabib, like most people knew Khabib was going to win, but it's always like, well, what if Conor lands that one punch? Or, anytime anybody fights, or like Charles Oliveira, like, we all knew that he could easily beat Gaethje, but Gaethje had that knockout power. So this is that one where it's both guys, I could see a clear victory. And I can't lie to you, leading up to this, I guess I'm still in shock that Glover Teixeira is the champion. And which I'm not hating, I'm happy for him actually, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I thought Jan was going to run through him, and I kind of counted him out. I thought Jan was in his bag. I thought he was, in his prime, and then he shocks the world. And then it's one of those ones that all the way leading up, I've been counting out Glover because I'm like, Jiri Prochazka is a different beast. Like, he's giving me not necessarily the John Jones vibe, because John Jones was a different fighter, but kind of giving you like the young John Jones, like, hey, I'm an up-and-comer. I can win this shit. It's over. I've been knocking people out. I think he's got 11 fights, 11 finishes. It's pretty fucking phenomenal. So it's just tough because I could see it either way. And if Glover loses, you're like, okay, at least he's got the belt. But if he wins this one, we're sitting there like, holy fucking shit, how much longer can he do this? 40-something years old. So I don't know. It's really, really tough right now. I'm leaning back and forth. Every time I seem to count out Glover, like I have his last 5 fights, the man comes back and wins in dominant fashion against some of the best people, like guys that it should be, like doing what they're doing, but finishing them instead of just knocking them out. So I don't know. It's super tough. I think if I had to really go towards one, I've been leaning towards Jiri Prochazka this entire time. he's kind of giving me those, just that vibe of like, okay, we got something here. And I think the UFC wants him to win because, let's be real, the light heavyweight division has been kind of bleak ever since, Daniel Cormier, Gustafsson, John Jones, Anthony Rumble Johnson's, like, since these guys left. And, I think they're waiting for it to be that premier weight class again. Because, even with, like, the Rampage, Shoguns, Forrest Griffin, like, all these guys, Anderson Silva even made a couple light heavyweight fights, like, used to have these dominant motherfuckers. Rashad Evans, Lyoto Machida, like, it used to be the number one class all the time. And now it's one of the more boring classes, or at least less, maybe not as deep division. So it's tough, and I know they want it to get back to there. And I think if Jiri gets this dub, I think this could really, really, really help the division. Clearly, if Glover wins, it's going to be one of those moments where, like, all the fighters are super excited for him. Like, it's almost like the Michael Bisping thing where you put so much time in your career to get to that belt, you never get it, and then finally, right at the end, you get it. So, I think I am leaning towards Jiri. I think it's time for the UFC to kind of let the, change the script a little bit, get the light heavyweight championship back on her division, back on track, and back in the limelight, which I think could easily be accomplished if Jiri does win, because he's young, he's got the crazy hair, he's got the charisma. Like, I really think that this could be the time. So, but every time I say this, Glover fucking pulls it out somehow. So, I think I'd want to see Glover win just because of the fan in me. He's been around for so long. He just deserves it. He's a great guy. But also, you look at it and you're like, okay, this is setting up so perfect for Jiri to be the face of the light heavyweight division. So, very tough right now. Regardless, unless it's like a classic brawl, I think the winner's probably going to get Jan Blachowicz again and see how that goes. I'd love to see the Jan-Jiri fight, but I'd also love to see the Jan-Glover fight again. So regardless, as fans, we're in a win-win situation as long as you're not a fan of one of these guys, which most people are, so it could be really tough for, fans of the winner or loser. So I'm very excited for this fucking fight card. It's about all I can really say. It's rare that you get 3 really stacked fights at the top of the card off. Usually, even most of the times, if there is that big 3 card like we kind of just saw at the UFC 274, it's like always 2 of the 3 kind of really come out and, perform. But it's always that 1 of the 3 that's supposed to be really good. Like the Rose fight was really boring. We kind of got sick of that one. So it's like maybe one of these fights on like statistically are probably gonna like maybe underwhelm us, but I don't know. I'm just really excited for these 3 fights. It could have been even 4 if we had Robert Whittaker and Marvin Vettori. Like, I don't even think we'd be able to handle that shit. So I think we see Valentina keep her dub, keep her belt, and I think we probably see Jiri Prochazka get the belt. I think the UFC is leaning towards that. I think that's what they want. Like I said, just to get the light heavyweight division back on track. But, man, regardless, I'm super excited to see what happens. It's one of those fight cards, again, I'm getting lucky here as a fan. Like, Valentina I'll probably be a little nervous for just because I'm a huge Valentina fan. But other than that, like, man, I'm scotch-free out here getting to watch fights, just, enjoying them and not being nervous as fuck because one of my favorite fighters are fighting. So, really excited for these just to kind of unwind Saturday night, get to watch some beautiful fights. So, but hey, this has been the 5th round. As always, your boy Stephen Moustaris, and I really fucking appreciate you guys, and have a good one.